What up, wrestling fans? We've got a lot to talk about today. We've got huge things happening in the world of WWE on this go home to Wrestlemania Backlash Smackdown. We'll have a discussion regarding some brand new rumours going around regarding Damien Priest and Aleister Black. Also, be going to be covering our final thoughts kind of going into this Wrestlemania Backlash pay-per-view tomorrow. I want to hear your opinions in the comments. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel. As always, it's always good to hear your interaction, so please let me know in the comments what you think of the video. Okay, so let's get into this. So this is obviously coming off of a fairly decent Raw. We're going into this Smackdown. Really kind of excited. I was quite excited for this Smackdown. Obviously, they had the big announcement that we were going to get this women's tag team title match, which I've been looking forward to for quite a while. I think it's been building for quite a few weeks. Obviously, following the WrestleMania match that happened, I thought this was a great opportunity really to change things up in the women's tag team division and get new champions ultimately. So let's kind of get into this match then. So we'll get into this match here now. So looking at the show, SmackDown starts up. We have got an in-ring kind of promo. We've got Jey Uso, Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. The show starts up with Jey Uso. He's obviously in the ring. He basically says that Roman Reigns is going to beat Cesaro tomorrow night on the pay-per-view. He then says that Roman basically is easily going to win the match. It does end up kind of with Roman basically there as well. It does end up with Roman addressing Jimmy. This is Jimmy Uso, obviously, that returned last week. Jimmy then ends up coming out. He has got a shirt on that says nobody's bitch, which is excellent. I really like that. I think it's really quite a good play on what's been going on. It does end up with kind of a lot of tension. You never really kind of know what happens. Next thing you know, we get Jimmy say that he's going to do what Jimmy hasn't been able to do, or Jay's been able to do, is beat Cesaro. So what we then do is ends up with a match that's going to be announced as the main event. It's Jimmy Uso versus Cesaro. And then from nowhere, we get sort of Cesaro out. Cesaro tells Jimmy the challenge is accepted. He tells Roman that he'll beat Roman's cousin tonight and then he'll defeat Roman on Sunday. Really, really strong opening promo. I really kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was a really, really good way to kind of start SmackDown. You've got crucial elements there. You're following up the great storyline that was dropped last week with Jimmy, Jey, and Roman. I'm really kind of enjoying it. And I really think it's important that Roman Reigns and Cesaro, they're going to be your main focal points coming out of SmackDown going into this pay-per-view. So for me, really, really good opening angle. I enjoyed it. It got me really sort of excited to see what would happen later on. I really love the tension between the Usos and Roman. I think it's really starting to build, which is really, really good television. It has to be said. Moving forward, then we obviously had this sort of women's tag team match. It's Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler facing Natalya, Tamina. Really, really kind of good match. I really kind of enjoyed it. This has obviously been building. There's been a massive storyline going on that Tamina's never won a WWE title. They've really been playing on that. Crucially in this match, we get a spot where Nia Jax does a Samoan drop with Tamina into the barrier. It looked absolutely brutal. I feel the pain coming from the television. It looked really sort of an awesome bump to see. Reginald gets involved. This time, crucially, does get sent to the back. So it's now sort of a 2-on-2 match without Reginald. We then obviously get a load of offense. It looks like Nia Jax is basically going to hit a sort of finisher, if that makes sense. From nowhere, she hits a Samoan drop. Then from off the top ropes, we get Tamina do the Superfly Splash. It does end up with Tamina basically getting the pinfall. There's an awesome German suplex as well from Natalya to Shayna Baszler as well, which I think looked awesome on the outside. Crucially, Tamina and Natalya get the win. This is their first WWE Women's Championship as a team. Really, really massive fan of this. We do get like an interview impromptu with Kayla Braxton, and there's a fantastic emotional promo we've got there with Natalya, Tamina. They really they're tearful. You can see the emotion in Tamina's face. This was excellent television. I really kind of enjoyed it. It really kind of connected with me. This is really making people want to get behind the kind of baby faces, if that makes sense, which is what you want to kind of do. For me, I really kind of enjoyed this. I think this is a great move. This is probably what should happen at WrestleMania. The fact that we've got this, kind of new women's tag team championship, really shaking things up. I wonder where we're going to go next. I'm interested to see whether Nia Jax and Shayna stay together, or if this is going to be a split now, and we may get that Shayna Baszler Alexa Bliss in that started on Raw this week, which really, really interesting. I love the impromptu promo as well. I really kind of enjoyed it. I think it's great to see that. I want to see more raw emotion like that, but great choice by WWE. This was the right move, so a massive fan of this. Going to go to the comments. Wrestling by Woolridge. Good morning for your comment. Good morning. Thank you for your comment, Wrestling by Woolridge. Good morning, mate. Decent Smackdown again. I thought, do you think Jimmy Uso could win the Money Bank and tease it into eventual feud with Roman? I'd like to see it. I don't think he will. I think he will maybe be involved when Roman loses the belt, but for me, I think the thing with the Usos and stuff like that, and the same with the Cesaro thing, I can see Jimmy ultimately doing the big sort of swerve on Sunday or tomorrow night, and then basically costing Cesaro. So I don't think so. I think he will eventually help Roman lose the belt, but I don't think he'll be the one that gets the win. I don't think he's got that credibility at the moment, but it'd be great if he did. He's great in ring. It was great to see him back this week, that's for sure. Thank you for the question. Moving forward, then we then obviously have an in-ring promo. This was fantastic. This is Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz. So looking in ring, there's almost like a giant sort of podium. At first, I thought it was like a present, but then when I saw that Commander Aziz was standing on it, looking at Commander Aziz, this guy is so tall. He's got such a sort of dominating look, if that makes sense. I never realized how tall he was before. So he's in there. He's standing on the box, and there's obviously Apollo there, Intercontinental Champion. It ends up with obviously Apollo basically saying that he's going to present him with a medal. Apollo in Crews' in-ring promo is absolutely fantastic. I really love the work by Apollo Crews. I'm really kind of enjoying it. I think he's one of the greatest characters on SmackDown at the moment. I think this rebirth of him with Commander Aziz, I'm really enjoying it. Apollo Crews is so funny. He just really makes me laugh the way that he's really hyping up this gimmick. He's really putting it over, which is really, really good. It kind of ends up with sort of Apollo basically putting this medal around Aziz next. We then get Big E on the Titantron. Big E basically says that basically the Apollo Crews winning the title was as fake as McElroy winning the best rap album, which I thought was a really good sort of pun. He tells Crews not to get too comfortable because Crews will feel Big E's power. We then get Sami Zayn on the mic. Sami Zayn's also pleading sort of for an Intercontinental title shot. We then get Kevin Owens coming out. It does end up then that Sami Zayn obviously goes into the ring as Owens chase him. Commander Aziz and Crews beat down Kevin Owens. Big E then comes in to make the save. We then get Kevin Owens hitting a super kick on Big E, one to Apollo Crews. Kevin Owens then gets a stunner to Sami Zayn. Big E's up and he gets a big ending on KO. There's a great spot where Commander Aziz and Kevin Owens are kind of brawling. It looks like Commander Aziz is going to get the Nigerian now. Kevin Owens moves and Commander Aziz falls over. It's a bit like a Titus Worldwide slip, which I really kind of enjoyed it. I love this segment. The tension they're building for this Fatal 4-Way is absolutely brilliant. This is exactly what I want to see sort of for the Intercontinental title. I think it's really, really good. And I think if they could do a similar thing on kind of Raw with Sheamus and stuff, I think it'll be really, really good. But this booking in the Intercontinental title was so good. And the rebooking of Apollo, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it's probably one of the best moves of the year so far. I think it's fantastic. This guy, nobody really cared about him, but since he's got the Intercontinental title and he's with Commander Aziz, I think he's really good fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does every single segment he's in. It makes me laugh, which is the most important thing. I really kind of enjoy his work. Moving forward then, we then obviously had this Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler match. This is obviously coming up following the Dominic Mysterio Dolph Ziggler match last week. This was a really kind of strong match. Crucially, you're obviously building up this sort of SmackDown Tag Team title that we're going to see on Sunday at the pay-per-view. I thought the match was okay. I thought it was pretty decent. Crucially, we do get sort of Rey Mysterio getting the roll-up and stealing the win. So this is another big win for the Mysterios. Rey Mysterio winning. Obviously, Dolph Ziggler and Bobby look like they're going to attack after. Dominic makes the save. For me, this is keeping the Mysterio strong. I think on Sunday, they have to win the pay-per-view. They have to win kind of the belt. If they don't win the belt here, I just think it's going to be a total waste. But the booking of this is so one-sided to the Mysterios. So I think we need to sort of see new tag team champions. I think the way they're telling this father-son story, this is the time really. And I think if you look at it like this logically, let's have the Mysterios win the belt for a while and give it 3 or 4 months, maybe if they can hold on to the belt and if they defend it regularly, this can end up with Mysterio versus Mysterio, maybe SummerSlam, which will be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing that. You could tell that Dominic and Rey probably will split eventually, which will be a great storyline. When you bring the family dynamics into it, it feels so much more real for me personally. I love it when we got that real sort of family tension. It really there's nothing closer than family, so I love that type of thing. But seeing them winning the tag team titles on Sunday, I'm going to be a fan of that, so I hope it happens. Moving forward then, we then obviously have a promo with Cesaro, a really, really good promo. He's going on about how he can beat Jimmy Uso. He says he's going to beat Roman. Really, really like this. I love the passion on Cesaro, the mannerisms on his face and stuff. He's doing so good. This is some of his best work. And I think for me, I've never always thought he was a strong promo, but this recent feud with Roman and the building of him, this is a guy that obviously hasn't lost a match since kind of the middle of 2020, where he lost to Shorty G. So they're keeping him strong. And this is what you want to do. He wants to be on the camera as much as possible. This guy's going to be your number one contender going into the pay-per-view tomorrow night. So I'm a fan of this. This is really, really good. In ring, we got Bianca Belair. Really kind of enjoyed this. This obviously shows up and building up the women's match we're going to see tomorrow night. It's a crucial promo. We do end up with Bianca Belair kind of saying that she's going to win with Bayley. Bayley comes up. Bayley cuts some sort of promo on Bianca saying that she knows what it's like to be sort of winning the belt and have that fairy tale, but it won't end this way. Crucially, Bianca buries Bayley by she says that almost saying like, well, I got on WrestleMania, won the belt. All you did was get kind of destroyed by the Bellas. I love the kind of sort of arrogance from Bianca Belair. I think it's really, really good. I love it when Bayley's kind of upset as well. I really kind of enjoy that. I think they're doing a real good tease of this feud. I really kind of enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to seeing this match. This match is going to be great. I think the result's probably obvious, but I'm really kind of looking forward to it. I think this is going to be sort of one of the standout matches of the card. I think it's going to be so much fun. Moving forward then, we then had a backstage segment. We got the Mysterios and the Dirty Dogs. Crucially, this is the same as the other kind of segment. We're getting the Dirty Dogs there. They're sort of teasing sort of Mysterio, saying that Dominic's just a kid. Crucially, though, the Mysterios bury kind of the Dirty Dogs by the promo. Dominic says by Sunday they'll be calling him Baby Champ. Great line. Very strange promo for me. I think the only thing with this, I kind of enjoy it, but this was really a spot for me to see the Dirty Dogs get one up on the Mysterios. We should have had the Dirty Dogs attacking the Mysterios here, in my opinion. That's what I would like to see. You want to really sort of paint them into have some sort of chance of winning. I think it would have been better television as well if you had the Dirty Dogs sort of attack them with the belt or something. At least that one, you're getting some sort of momentum back for the Dirty Dogs. And you could also do this angle where the Mysterios are selling an injury into pay-per-view on Sunday, so when they win, it's even better. That's just a small one. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with that or disagree with that. Always want to hear your opinion in the comments. So it really, really kind of helps when we do these kind of videos to hear your interaction. Moving forward then, we then obviously had this match, Shinsuke Nakamura, King Corbin. This was actually a really kind of strange match. I really kind of enjoyed parts of it. I thought it was a really good match. I think the finish was kind of horrible. It was kind of just a really, really basic kind of roll up. They kind of botched something. It was meant to be kind of a powerbomb. It ends up kind of with a swirl package. Crucially, Corbin gets the win. So Corbin's keeping up his win streak following his win in the 10-man tag last week. So that's fine. They're obviously building King Corbin. When we look at this, though, strange after. So Corbin's won the match. We then get basically Nakamura do a cheap shot, and then Nakamura kind of does the Katasa kick. And then obviously what then happens is he does another kick after, and he then gets the crown. He's almost like mesmerized by this crown. It's almost like he's got a massive cannonball. He's trying to lift like that, and he can't seem to get it up. It's almost like lifting the FA Cup trophy, but being weighted with sand. It's really kind of a strange sight. It ends up with Nakamura getting the crown and putting it on his head, which is fine. Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. I'm always a fan of seeing Nakamura on TV. I don't really get what the crown is, the obsession of the crown is. I get kind of that it's King of Sean style versus King of the Ring. I kind of get that. The mention of the King of the Ring does make me question whether that's going to come back. I'd love to see that come back. Let me know in the comments below if you think you'd want to see King of the Ring 2021. And if so, who would you like to win it? If they are going to bring King of the Ring back, I'd love to see sort of Damien Priest win it. He's probably my pick. Or I'd love to see sort of Ricochet win it probably, but that's me dreaming. Going to go to the comments. Got one here for Batman 901. Batman 901. How do you feel about the Bianca booking? Thank you very much for the question in the comment. Check out the video. I'm happy with Bianca Belair. The thing with it is she's going into this title defense. She's probably going to win. I can't see her losing the belt. And sorry, excuse me. I can't see her sort of losing, if that makes sense. So the Bianca Belair booking, I'm fine with it. She obviously got like sort of got destroyed kind of last week by Bayley in that promo in the segment. She got beaten down. So this was the week to get momentum. I enjoyed it. They're keeping them away from each other, which is what you kind of got to do. You want to save the in-ring action to kind of the pay-per-view. That's the payoff. So that's my thoughts of that one. But thank you for the comment. So sort of moving forward then. We then had a backstage segment. It's Adam Pearce, Sonya Deville with Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz. This was another absolutely fantastic segment. They're blown out of the park on this show again. So Adam and Sonya are talking. When Crews comes up, he obviously complains about what happened earlier. Pearce tells Apollo he should focus on whoever he'll face next week. Apollo shocked and claims that he shouldn't reward bad punishment. Sonya then does a great one-liner. Be careful what you say, because last time he basically put Adam Pearce defending Roman the belt against all people. So basically what they're saying is they're teasing that tension between Adam and Sonya, which is great. This is building every single week. Really kind of enjoying that this is going somewhere. Crucially, we're going to get this fatal four-way for the title next match. Next week, which I think for me, that's a massive match on SmackDown next week. That's absolutely huge. I thought we were getting out on the pay-per-view Sunday, but what a match going into this fatal four-way next week. Love the mannerisms for Apollo. There's so much going on in this segment. I really kind of like the layers of it. If it looks like this, I think every single week we're getting something a little bit more. But to have that fatal four-way next week, it's going to be a very hard one to predict. But for me, I want to see Apollo retain. Really, I think it'll be a shame really for him to win the belt at WrestleMania and lose it already. Surprised we're not getting the pay-per-view, but this is a great match to look forward to on next week's SmackDown. We then had the strangest moment of the night. We got a backstage promo. It's Nakamura looking into a mirror. He's then got the crown. He's almost looking like he's possessed by this crown. Really kind of weird. I just thought it was a bit odd. I don't really know what the point and purpose of it was, but it was entertaining. Got me questioning what's going on. Got a good comment here by Wrestlemania Backlash. Thank you very much for your comment. Thank you for checking the video. If the Mysterios win the titles, could you see them beginning a storyline with Reigns and the Usos? besides a tag match of two teams, I could see Reigns versus a Ray feud as well. Yeah, potentially. I think there's a massive talk, isn't there, about the Mysterios and Usos really as a thing. I think that would kind of make sense. I don't know if Reigns and Mysterio would probably happen. It may be kind of like a throwaway, if that makes sense. But for me, they built they built Jey up so well as a singles wrestler. Him going back to a tag team division, it will be a great addition for the tag team division. I just think it's maybe they'd be better sort of served as singles wrestlers, really. But Jimmy needs the tag division more than Jey, I would say. That's just my opinion of it. But thank you for the comment, the question, and thank you for checking that video as well. Appreciate your comment. Moving forward with this, then obviously had Aleister Black this week with another promo. Great to see him back, obviously on SmackDown. He wasn't there last week. This was an okay video. It's kind of going on about sort of mediocrity and stand up and fight through stuff. It's very kind of deep. He says we don't have discipline and we're spectators. Interested to see where this goes. I do have an Aleister Black storyline, which I'll get to after SmackDown. Just a brief rumor I've heard, which we'll discuss. Interested to know your thoughts. Okay, so we then obviously have this main event. It's Cesaro versus Jimmy Uso with Jey Uso. Really, really good match. I really kind of enjoyed this. I think they didn't get much time. The time they had, it was really, really good. And what I kind of love about this was how dominant Cesaro was. Crucially, we end up getting Cesaro winning by disqualification. Cesaro wins when basically Roman Reigns comes out and attacks him. But I kind of like this. This was really, really solid. The time they got, it's great to see Jimmy back. He hasn't missed a beat. I think he's a great addition, definitely, to that singles division. After the match, we get Jimmy asking Roman what he's doing. Jimmy's really annoyed at Roman's interference, and he heads up the ramp. Roman basically just talks down to him. Jimmy says he's done with it. Suddenly, Jey attacks. Jey basically then gets attacked by Cesaro. People then make the save, so obviously you got the save there. Cesaro goes for a neutralizer on Roman. Jey then makes a save. Cesaro says this is going to be on Sunday to Roman. It does end up with Cesaro then looking like he's going to basically do the neutralizer. He does it. Cesaro then says this is something for you. We get obviously Jey basically saying do something. Roman kind of doesn't do anything. Cesaro continues to mock Roman. And it kind of ends up with Cesaro standing over both Jey and Jimmy. For me, this was a great way to end the show. This is showing how dominant that they're making Cesaro going into this match tomorrow night at the pay-per-view. I think it's really, really good. I love the tension, as you said earlier. Throughout this whole show, we're getting this real tension of where the Usos' loyalty lies, particularly Jimmy. And I think he's a great layer to this storyline. For me, putting this out there now, as I said earlier in the video, I don't want to kind of keep repeating myself, but I think the end game with this ultimately is I could see Jimmy tomorrow night costing Cesaro, and that'll be the big kind of reveal that Jimmy all along has been working with Roman and stuff. I think that's probably the way they'll go down, but loving this tension. I'd be interested to see if it did lead to like a singles feud between Jimmy and Jey, but I think this will be one and done probably tomorrow night. But I'm really enjoying it. It's been great fun. This was a fantastic go-home SmackDown. I really kind of felt excited for the pay-per-view. Everything that they put out there was good, really. Everything kind of felt good. It was a good length. I really kind of enjoyed how the show flowed. And I'm really excited for this pay-per-view tomorrow night. I think in ring, it's going to be really, really good. Looking at kind of just a couple of things, there's one other thing kind of I will mention. They were meant to do a Mia Yim Carmella match. I think that's got dropped. I'm guessing they're going to start that after the pay-per-view. And then obviously start fresh next week with that. But this was a good SmackDown. Out of 10, if I was going to rate it, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it did everything it needed to do. It was better than the throwback show last week. It had everything we wanted. You've got Roman there. Everything Roman at the moment is great. The new women's tag team champions was fantastic. The promo after was superb. And I just think this is what I want from WWE. Every single week, if I could see this, I'd be happy. I'm going to go to the comments. I've got a good one here now from Batman91. Are they hitting a heel turn for Bianca later? I could potentially see that. She has got this arrogance, like saying she's the best and all this stuff, maybe. But I don't know how they would kind of do that and implement that unless it's going to be against somebody like her. They haven't really got a massive amount of baby faces on the SmackDown side from what I remember. Sasha's obviously a heel. Bayley's a heel. Maybe the end game could be a heel turn maybe in like a year, but I can't see it in the next 6 months. I just don't think it will kind of happen. Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, I think definitely a heel turn would be kind of different, but no, not at the moment. She's coming off that feel-good factor that they had at WrestleMania. Going to go to our last news story of the day before we end the video. So I'm just going to go to that now. So obviously the ever-reliable WrestleVotes did a tweet yesterday. The tweet said something like this. There's been backstage chatter recently that the Raw roster needs fresh faces. 2 ideas I've heard about are Damien Priest getting a big opportunity and Aleister Black moving over. Orton and AJ having tag team roles that have left the top a bit weak. So let's look at that and break that down. So obviously Damien Priest, yes, I agree with that. Damien Priest is on a push. He is going to be probably beating the Miz tomorrow. That's pretty clear. For me, This guy's got great potential. He hasn't really lost the match. The only match he's lost since he's come up has been that tag match or that handicap match where he lost to Miz and Morrison, and that was just because of Maurice's distraction. So, yes, I can see the Damien Priest push starting. That would make total sense. If we go back even further, originally when Damien Priest was going to come up to WWE, he was meant to be on SmackDown. He was originally meant to be aligned with Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns. He was going to be Kevin Owens' friend. That storyline obviously got dropped. So, for me, they definitely want to do some big pushes with Damien Priest. So, I'm a fan of that. In terms of Aleister Black, yeah, for me, I'm not too sure. Obviously, Raw doesn't have the best creative. Aleister Black's character at the moment, the promos are quite creative. So I don't know if I really want to see him on Raw. If he's going to be treated right, then yes, he'll have more time on Raw to do what he needs. But for me, I don't know why they're not going to the NXT well and calling some people up from NXT if they've got this gap in the roster. Why don't you bring back sort of Ricochet and Ali? They've not done anything for a while. They are having this feud on 205 Live, which I'm told is incredible, which I need to check out. But for me, let's go to NXT and sort of bring somebody back from NXT up if you want to fill that gap on the Raw roster. That's the trouble when you've got Matt Riddle, Randy Orton, AJ Styles all on the tag team division. It kind of takes away from your probably upper mid card. That's probably why they're saying that. Got a quick comment here from Wrestling by Waldridge. Who do you think challenges for the women's tag team titles next? This is impossible. That's the thing. There's not that many tag teams on SmackDown for that to happen. But for me, put it out there. They probably could go to the Riot Squad maybe, unless they want to do Sasha and Nia again. I think all you've really got is the Riot Squad. You may sort of get somebody moved from Raw across, but for me, yeah, I'd probably say the Riot Squad to be fair. But I want to see this title reign last for a while. I think in when it was great, the emotion was great, and it's just so good to see that emotion. That's kind of been it from me here at Jonesy Chats Wrestling. I appreciate your comments. Thank you very much for tuning in so early. I'll be back later today at 5:45 p.m. That's GMT time on the Rated R for Wrestling channel. We're going to be covering Backlash with predictions. And I want to thank you all for joining and watching. I hope you have yourselves a great weekend. Enjoy the pay-per-view tomorrow night if you're watching. As always, stay safe and thank you for all the support. I'll obviously see you on Monday for this Raw review, or not the Raw review, even the pay-per-view review. And thank you all for watching. As always, if you can, please leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. This has been it from me here at Jonesy. I hope you have a good day and thank you for watching.